Most car companies spend decades trying to become luxury brands. Mazda might do it with a single SUV, and that's exactly why the 2027 Mazda CX-100 has the entire industry paying attention. Because if the rumors are true, this isn't just a bigger CX-90. It isn't another three-row family SUV with a nicer interior and a higher price tag. And it definitely isn't another copy-and-paste luxury crossover pretending to be special. This could be the vehicle that changes how people see Mazda forever. Pause for a second and think about that. A company known for building affordable, driver-focused cars. A company that spent years sitting somewhere between mainstream and premium, now preparing an SUV that could go head-to-head with Lexus, Genesis, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and maybe even challenge some vehicles costing tens of thousands more. That sounds ambitious, maybe even impossible. But here's the surprising part. When you actually look at what Mazda has been doing over the last few years, it starts to make a lot more sense than most people realize. The rear-wheel drive platform, the inline-six engine, the dramatic design language, the handcrafted interiors, the premium materials, the focus on driving feel. Suddenly, all those pieces begin to look less like individual upgrades and more like steps towards something much bigger. Something Mazda may have been planning all along. Because the luxury SUV market is changing fast. Buyers are no longer impressed by giant grills alone. They are no longer willing to pay extra simply because a badge tells them to. People want something different, something emotional, something that feels expensive without looking desperate for attention. And that might be Mazda's greatest advantage. While many luxury SUVs are becoming bigger, heavier, and more complicated, Mazda has quietly built a reputation for making vehicles people actually enjoy driving. Vehicles that feel special even before you press the start button. Vehicles that connect emotionally. And if the CX-100 delivers on what we're hearing, that emotional connection could become Mazda's most powerful weapon. But here's what almost nobody is talking about yet. The CX-100 isn't trying to beat Lexus at being Lexus. It isn't trying to beat BMW at being BM. And it isn't trying to beat Mercedes at being Mercedes. Mazda appears to be creating something entirely different. A luxury SUV for people who are tired of traditional luxury SUVs. And that distinction could change everything. Because right now, there is a growing group of buyers who want premium comfort without premium arrogance. They want craftsmanship without unnecessary complexity, technology without frustration, luxury without showing off. And if Mazda gets this formula right, the CX-100 could become one of the smartest luxury SUV purchases of the decade. But there's one major problem. The same thing that could make the CX-100 incredibly successful could also be the reason it fails. And before we talk about horsepower, pricing, technology, or the stunning interior everyone keeps focusing on, you need to understand why that problem matters. Because once you see it, you'll understand exactly why the 2027 Mazda CX-100 could either become Mazda's greatest success story or its biggest gamble in modern history. Because the challenge Mazda faces isn't engineering, it isn't design, and it isn't technology. Those are problems that can be solved with money, talent, and time. The real challenge is perception. And perception is far more difficult to change than most people realize. Think about it. If someone walks into a dealership with $70,000 to spend on an SUV, what names immediately come to mind? BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Lexus, Genesis, maybe Audi, maybe even Range Rover. For most people, Mazda isn't the first answer, at least not yet. And that's exactly why the CX-100 matters. Because this vehicle isn't simply competing against other SUVs. It's competing against decades of customer habits, decades of assumptions, decades of expectations. And changing those expectations is one of the hardest things any automotive brand can do. History is filled with examples. Some succeeded, many failed. Remember when Hyundai launched Genesis? Most people laughed. The idea seemed impossible. A company known for affordable transportation suddenly wanted to challenge established luxury manufacturers. Critics said buyers would never pay luxury money for a Hyundai product. They said prestige couldn't be manufactured overnight. They said customers would never take it seriously. Fast forward to today. Genesis is one of the most respected luxury brands in the world. Its vehicles regularly outperform competitors, costing significantly more. Its design language is admired globally. Its interiors compete with brands that once seemed untouchable. And perhaps most importantly, people now cross-shop Genesis against BMW and Mercedes without hesitation. That transformation didn't happen by accident. It happened because Genesis built products so good that people eventually stopped caring about the badge. Now, Mazda appears to be standing at a similar crossroads. But here's where things become even more interesting. Unlike Genesis, Mazda already has something many luxury brands spend years trying to develop: an emotional connection with enthusiasts. People genuinely like Mazda. That matters a lot. Because when buyers feel emotionally connected to a brand, they become more willing to follow that brand into new territory. And Mazda has spent years building trust. Not through flashy marketing campaigns, not through celebrity endorsements, not through social media gimmicks, but through products. Vehicles that consistently feel more expensive than their price tags suggest. Vehicles that make ordinary commutes feel a little less ordinary. Vehicles that remind drivers that transportation can still be enjoyable. That philosophy is what separates Mazda from many competitors. The CX-100 may be the first vehicle specifically designed to change that narrative. And when you study the design closely, you begin to see evidence everywhere. This doesn't look like an SUV built by a company trying to play it safe. Safe vehicles don't start conversations. Safe vehicles don't change industries. Safe vehicles don't become icons. The CX-100 looks like a statement, a declaration, a message from Mazda saying, we know exactly who we are, and we know exactly where we're going. Look at the proportions. The first thing that stands out is the length. Modern luxury buyers associate long hoods with premium engineering. There is a reason BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Aston Martin, and Bentley all emphasize proportions so heavily. The human brain instantly recognizes certain shapes as expensive. The CX-100 understands that psychology. The hood stretches forward with confidence. The cabin sits further back. The stance feels balanced, almost athletic. Even standing still, the vehicle creates a sense of motion, and that is incredibly difficult to achieve. Most SUVs look practical first, exciting second. The CX-100 appears to reverse that formula. From certain angles, it almost resembles a grand touring vehicle that accidentally became an SUV. The body surfaces are equally impressive. Instead of relying on aggressive creases and exaggerated styling tricks, Mazda continues embracing its philosophy of controlled simplicity. At first glance, the panels appear clean, almost understated. But spend a little more time looking, and something fascinating happens. The reflections begin to tell the story. Light moves across the bodywork like liquid metal. Curves emerge from shadows. Lines appear and disappear depending on the angle. The entire design feels alive, and that's something very few manufacturers understand. Great design isn't about adding more details. It's about making fewer details matter more. Mazda has mastered that philosophy, which brings us to what may be the most surprising aspect of the entire vehicle: restraint. In an era where many luxury SUVs are becoming visually louder every year, the CX-100 seems determined to prove confidence doesn't need to shout. There are no unnecessary gimmicks, no oversized fake vents, no exaggerated chrome explosions, no desperate attempts to demand attention. Instead, the design relies on proportion, surface quality, presence. The kind of confidence usually associated with vehicles costing significantly more. And ironically, that may be exactly why people can't stop talking about it. Because when everyone else is screaming, the quiet voice often becomes the most interesting one in the room. But here's what nobody is talking about yet. The exterior may not be the CX-100's biggest advantage. Not even close, because if Mazda delivers the cabin many insiders are expecting, the interior could completely redefine expectations for the brand. And what we've seen so far suggests Mazda is aiming far higher than anyone imagined.